This man is no ordinary man. A local gang boss, he took a security job at a cash-in-transit firm for just $3,000 a month. During his fitness test to hide his skills, Brother Chiang missed the bullseye and struggled with the barbell. He even faked failing the simple reversing test. In the end, he barely passed with a 70.
You just barely made it. Any lower and we'd have to do this all over again. You're not going to be joining a Formula One team anytime soon, but you'll do for this job. Let's get you suited up.
Not too much, not too little, exactly 70 points. When it comes to controlling his score, Chiang really is an expert. Just like that, he successfully joined the security company. However, this job was far from easy. Here, banks get robbed over 2,000 times a year, which means there are about 14 robberies every week. In other words, banks face robbers almost every single day. Sure enough, on Chiang's very first assignment, he ran into robbers. A pickup truck suddenly blocked their way. One of the criminals yanked the armored truck captain out of the vehicle. So scared, he was shaking all over and didn't dare get out of the car at all. But Chiang calmly said he would handle it. Then, following instructions, he opened the back door of the armored truck and threw all the cash into the back of the robber's vehicle. On purpose, he tossed one bag of bills onto the ground. The gang leader immediately picked up the radio and started cursing furiously, and instead walked outside, lifting the masks off the robbers one by one. The reason he did this was to find the murderer who killed his son. Months ago, Chiang and his son were driving to the supermarket together. Halfway there, his son suddenly wanted to eat some roadside janbing gozi. So Chiang parked the car by the side of the road and got out to buy the snack for his son. But while he was waiting for the food at the roadside, something unexpected happened to his son on the other side. A group of people claiming to be doing road maintenance stopped an armored cash transport vehicle. Then they used an excavator to lift the rear wheels of the cash truck and used the chainsaw to cut off the door hinges. Next, they threw a stun grenade into the vehicle. The people inside were completely unprepared and instantly lost the ability to resist. After that, the robbers forced everyone out of the vehicle at gunpoint and transferred all the cash. Just as the robbery was about to be completed, the robbers saw Chiang's son witness the incident, so they pointed a gun and ordered him out. Terrified, the son tried calling his father, but the line was bit. Killed him. Chiang returned with some pancakes and happened to witness this scene. He desperately ran toward his son, but was shot in the shoulder by the robber and collapsed to the ground on the spot. He endured the pain and stared fixedly at the murderer who killed his son. The robber had no idea that disaster was about to befall him. A few days later, Chiang woke up in the hospital. After learning of his son's death, he was overwhelmed with grief and swore that he would personally kill the murderer to avenge his son. His wife blamed him for failing to protect their son and asked him for a divorce. Chiang did not defend himself because he couldn't forgive himself either. Half an hour later, Chiang drove to a rooftop. He arranged to meet a senior CIA official at this location. The man took a slip of paper from his pocket and handed it to Chiang. On the note were the names of several criminals who had evaded justice. Chiang assured the man that he could accomplish in 2 weeks what the man hadn't been able to do in 20 years. Hearing Chiang's response, the man nodded in satisfaction. After returning home, Chiang immediately gathered his most trusted aides and ordered them to find the murderer at all costs. Within a few days, his men had taken care of everyone on the list, and even those who might be connected to the murderer were not spared. But no matter how thoroughly his men investigated, no clues were found. Chiang guessed the killer had a background beyond an ordinary robber. Weeks of pursuit left his subordinate Lao Bai exhausted. To stop the aimless search, Lao Bai suggested changing tactics. Since the robbers vanished after hitting an armored truck, an inside job was likely. Lao Bai took a new identity and applied as a security escort at the transport company. During assessment, he controlled his score because it was simply because he didn't want to attract anyone's attention. After successfully getting the job, he quickly took photos of his colleagues' work badges with his phone when no one was looking. One night, Chiang went straight to his colleague Dana's home because his investigation had revealed that Dana had an unexplained source of income. He strongly suspected that this was payment for being an inside accomplice, so he demanded a reasonable explanation from Dana. At first, Dana thought Chiang was just dropping by for a visit, but to her surprise, he pulled out a gun.
Look, she's fine, okay? It's my savings, all right? What the fuck does it have to do with you?
Honey, you're not listening.
Die.
Only then did Anna realize that Chiang wasn't joking, so she honestly explained the source of the money. It turned out that the money had been left behind by someone at the company, and she had quietly slipped it into her own pocket. She did not cooperate with the robbers. Diana said she was just momentarily blinded by greed, but she would never go so far as to kill for money. For now, Chiang believed Diana's explanation. After all, Diana's parents were still in Chiang's hands, so she definitely wouldn't dare make things up. As for those mysterious robbers, they were actually a group of retired soldiers. Their leader was a sergeant named Billy. These men had served their country for years, and after retiring, they were unwilling to accept only low-paying, exhausting jobs, so they started teaming up to rob armored trucks. In their very first heist, they managed to net over $1 million. Despite the middleman's cut, the remaining amount was still far more than they could ever earn from regular jobs. Hooked on the success, they turned professional, using the money to fully upgrade all of their equipment for a final big score at the security warehouse. They recontacted their insider at the transport company. Meanwhile, word quickly spread throughout the entire company about how Chiang had taken down the robbers as the police arrived to investigate. Though his supervisor tried to fire him, a senior executive praised Chiang's bravery, promising him a promotion and a raise. Later, while out on another assignment, Chiang faced another robbery as the robbers quickly...
What the... Was that Mike?
This whole operation left even the captain stunned. He realized that this bald guy was definitely not ordinary. After returning, he told the company executives to keep an eye on them and even called in full bull to investigate Chiang. No matter what they asked, Chiang insisted he was just doing his job as usual. Then an agent showed Chiang a video. For a moment, a trace of sadness appeared on Chiang's otherwise calm face because the footage was from the day his son was killed. The surveillance was blurry and the police still hadn't found any useful clues. Chiang thought he had managed to get through it, but what he didn't know was that they had already discovered his true identity and immediately reported it to their superiors. Their boss told them to stay out of it and feign ignorance. 5 months flew by for Chiang at the company. One day, after an escort mission, the captain said something on the way back that shocked Chiang.
You know I like you, right? H. Well, there's something I need.
The captain not only admitted that he was the inside man, but also threatened Chiang to help them rob the warehouse. If Chiang refused, he would die a miserable death. And the time they planned to rob the warehouse was today. Chiang knew this wasn't the time to confront them head-on, so he pretended to agree to the captain's plan. After finally waiting for the gang of robbers to show up, how could Chiang possibly let them off the hook? The captain first turned off the vehicle's GPS and surveillance, then drove the truck straight into a basement. Soon the monitoring center noticed something was wrong with the vehicle. The director immediately said that there was a malfunction with the surveillance system and that repairs would take some time. Since there was no cash in their vehicle, headquarters didn't press further. At that moment, a small car suddenly drove in and several heavily armed robbers got out. They first subdued Chiang, then everyone hid inside the cash transport truck's compartment. Before long, the captain drove the truck back to the base, successfully passed through the checkpoint and entered the warehouse. While everyone was distracted, they quickly burst out of the compartment and instantly took control of everyone. Chiang was forced toward the cash. The terrified supervisor ordered no resistance, and officers dropped their weapons. Meanwhile, robbers took the captain toward the police officers. At this point, the entire warehouse had fallen into their hands, so they went straight to the main switch and opened the door, letting the sergeant outside in as well. Then, as planned, they started packing the cash. Chen Kan's money was stuffed into backpacks, which were then carried out to the vehicles by people outside. Just as they thought everything was going smoothly, a security was dealing with everyone. He quickly loaded the cash into the vehicle and then drove the armored truck out of the warehouse at once. To make matters even more hopeless, Brother Chiang once again saw his son's killer escape right in front of him. Because time was tight, they didn't get out of the car to finish Brother Chiang off. The robbers crashed straight through the police car at the warehouse entrance, and then a fierce police chase ensued. After circling around the city several times, they finally drove into a building they had prepared in advance, quickly shut the doors and blocked the pursuing police cars. Now they had to move the cash as quickly as possible. The original 7-member team was now down to just 3, and Billy, who had been shot in the neck, was on the verge of death. Man was even faster. He snatched the gun away and tossed it aside, then pulled out a knife and with a swift stab, killed their boss. Afterwards, he calmly returned to the captain and told him that Billy had died from excessive blood loss. The captain was surprised to hear this, but didn't suspect much. With one less person, he could take a much bigger share of the money. The two of them loaded all the cash onto a motorcycle, passed through a tunnel to a safe area, and transferred the money into a car they had prepared in advance. But just as the long-haired man walked to the front to open the door, the captain took the opportunity to pull a pistol alone. Who knows how long he'll get to enjoy this sudden fortune. After returning home, the long-haired man poured himself a glass of 1982 Erguotu to celebrate. Then he started thinking about how to spend all that money. Suddenly, he heard a cell phone ringing. After searching around, he discovered there was actually a phone inside one of the money bags. Just as he was checking the phone, a voice suddenly came from behind him.
That you can answer it.
When he forced himself to turn around calmly, he saw that at some point a man had sat down behind him. He originally thought Chiang was after the money, so he suggested they split it 50-50, but Chiang had no interest in the huge sum at all. Instead, he tossed the document to Chiang Mao and signaled for him to open it. Inside was the autopsy report of Chiang son. When Chiang Mao saw the photos in the file, he finally realized he was completely finished.
The liver. The lungs explain. Now, what the ins is it that you actually want from me? I just want you to keep...
He finally avenged his son with his own hands. But even with his revenge fulfilled, nothing changes. His son will never come back, and he remains forever trapped on the day he lost him. This concludes the story of The Road of Man. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks to Zwan.